This conference will now be recorded.
The time being 4:46 p.m., I'd like to call the meeting of June 30th, 2022 to order. First order of business is to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So just of note, Selectman Scanlon is running a tad late, but will join us as we enter. Selectman Scanlon is here, so I can now retract that. The time being 4:47, I make a motion to enter into non-public session per RSA 91A32A, the dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any employee, or the disciplining of such employee, or the investigation of any charges against him or her, unless the employee affected, one, has a right to a public meeting, and two, requests that the meeting be open, in which case the request shall be granted.
Second.
Pyra, second. Roll call vote.
Constantino, yes.
Jessamine, yes.
Ruggles, yes.
Pyra, yes. Scanlon, yes.
We are now in non-public.
This conference will now be recorded.
So,
Did we turn the microphones on?
oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Hold
Hold
so,
on. And I have to officially step. I make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public session of June 30th, 2022, because disclosure would adversely affect the reputation of a person other than a member of the board.
Second.
Motion is second, discussion. Hearing none, those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We would like to announce that we have hired a new communications specialist for the police department, Maddie Hartford, and we welcome her aboard. We'd also like to make an announcement and congratulate our very own Selectman Scanlon on being chosen as Citizen of the Year for Old Home Day for Tilton.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if you're done, I wanted to beat Joe before he closed the meeting.
I have a record.
We could have had discussion, so go ahead.
So I received a call, this was yesterday or the day before, from Mark Connolly, who is the owner of the Lobster Connection. He said that with the 2-hour parking, that signs that put up, now everybody's parking in the 3 spaces in front of his place and leaving their boats and the trailers there, or the trailers there all day long. So he asked if we could put up if we could put 2-hour parking signs on his property. And I told him, I said, well, that's not a decision I can make. It has to come before the board. And it will take weeks before we get those signs. That's what happened the last time. So he asked if we could put up any kind of emergency 2-hour parking just to get through the 4th of July weekend. I did talk with Kevin, who said he could do something if the board wants to do that until you make a decision on whether you want to do this permanent. So
The situation was that someone did go up there and park.
Yeah.
That was there all day long, happened to be a law enforcement, not from our town. It was very rude. But I went up and looked at it. There are 16 spaces up there and only 3 with no signs in front of them. And that person chose one of the ones that didn't have a sign in front of it. So if we cover the other 3, then all of those spaces all the way down to Winslow Market will be covered and nobody can park.
Mr. Scanlon?
So we've been back and forth with this, and I believe people from Winnisquam Marine came in and all that. And we did come to a decision on a specific number that we'd have for 2 hours, and the other ones we wouldn't. And that's why we left just like the 2. So, no, I understand, but we have to have a balance with all the neighbors. We've had hearings and
The one in front of Winnisquam Marine, just so you know, when you come in, the one all along the median are all 2-hour parking. Right in front of his, right in front of his store, in front of the condos, are the 3 that are not. And then when you go down further, it's the 2 hours. So that, John, they're all,
when I went
2
up there,
hours.
they all started at a certain point, right at about the lobster connection, all the way down to the corner, all had signs for 2 hours. I did not see any. Was it yesterday? The day
Well,
before.
I actually went down and took a picture.
You know, and when we start changing these, then we'll have somebody else will say, come up, take them down because you said you weren't going to.
they're
And
all
we
2
had
hours.
him specifically highlight on some drawings right here, because I remember hitting them on the things where they wanted it.
There are 3 that don't have any signs.
Right,
Um,
but the others are 2 hours, correct?
Yeah, the other
Yeah.
ones are 2 hours.
Right. They're all 2 hours, John, all of them.
Because we
So
just put those up.
Yeah.
And that's, so what's, I think what Pat, and what he told me what's happening is because those are now 2-hour parking, people with boat trailers can't park there, so they backed up and parked in front of the lobster connection, 3 spaces in front of the lobster connection. So now when his customers come in to get lobster, there's no place to park because they're
Well,
trailers.
not at his front doorstep.
But they're still town parking spaces. They're not his parking spaces, they're town parking spaces. So we have to honor that what's on the left side should be on the right side, all the way down. And they're not his parking spaces, they're ours. So we need to, even you could, I mean, there's 1, I think, that you could actually put on the building 2-hour, temporary 2-hour,
Well,
without having
he's
us
talking
post.
about, so he's talking about the 3 parking spaces that, as you drive it on the left.
On the curb, yeah.
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 So,
Yeah, there's 3 without it.
yeah, so,
Those wouldn't change? You don't want to
no, what I understood him to say was he was asking if the board would put up, because he asked me to have 2-hour parking signs put there. I said, you need to talk to the board. He said that it's an emergency, 4th of July. I said, can you do something temporary just for the 4th of July? I did ask Kevin, he said he could make something. And that's what he was talking about, was those 3 spots just for the 4th. And then you can have a conversation with them in the future about what there's permanent.
Right.
Because in
I
what I'm
see
saying
that.
is we went through, hashed this out with all the neighbors and everybody. We came to an agreement on those specific spots. But now one person doesn't like it out of all of them.
No, it's the same spots,
And-
John.
And we're not talking to Winnisquam Marine because they did have, or whoever the mariner is,
It's
they
the,
did have a concern. So one person is going to get everything changed again.
no, it's not. It's everything that we agreed on. It's just that we didn't put 2-hour parking signs in every single spot. That's the only difference. It's every single thing that we agreed on when they sat here. I went back on the minutes and looked at it.
I remember handing the things in which spots, but
Right.
let's just make a decision on it.
It's just, we didn't, I looked at the minutes, went back on the minutes. We agreed that it would all be 2-hour parking on the median strip. That's all 2-hour parking. We don't have posts on every one. Sure enough, this person parked there
On the loophole.
and found a loophole, was very arrogant about it. And Mark went over to this person in
Yeah,
the office
I understand that.
to
Just
park in the other
make a
parking
decision
lot.
on it. I'm
Right.
okay with it, whatever.
So I say, go ahead, let Kevin put it up there. This is our business, a seasonal business. It's in Tilton. We support businesses.
Do we need a
Let's do it.
consensus or a motion?
I'll make a motion. We contact Kevin and ask him to put temporary 2-hour parking up on the Winnisquam, by the Winnisquam Market, the old Route 3.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion.
just through the 4th of July, so I understand.
So-
Until he comes in and talks to you.
And then have another hearing on that, people. So everybody's involved in it. Just battling back and forth, take them down, put them up. Stuff. It's got to stop. We've been doing that for 3 years now.
Till July 5th.
Is it different than what he's asking, John?
Pat,
I'm asking you a question.
We just want, I think, we've always had a precedent that we have everybody in here.
Well,
We've
not till,
invited everybody in here,
I get
all
it.
the businesses to decide on. There was a decision made. And if we're going to change from what's there, we should give the opportunity, if you want to change for this weekend, let's schedule it so they can come in and
Then
make
at
sure
least
they're
put
all.
it till July 21st, because we can't have them in on July 7th. We can't have them in to do that, so we can't do that. Don't put them up there temporarily, tear them down for the weekend. This is their busiest time of the year. This is their
And it is-
moneymaker.
And it is for the marinas too. I'm just thinking of all the businesses fairly, and we keep having these hearings, swapping it around from what we decided
We're
on.
not
I'm
swapping
just
anything.
call the vote.
Call to question.
July
Question.
22, that's a Friday.
Yeah, July 22, we'll decide on it July 21st. Public hearing, if that's what John wants.
Those in favor of the motion to add temporary 2-hour parking to the site near Winnisquam Deli, please say aye.
Aye.
No,
From Delhi?
no, it's Lobster Connection.
Lobster Connection, same.
So it's not the same property. If you're making a motion, you have to be
It's the old
specific.
Route 3.
Over Route 3.
I said old Route 3.
Over Route 3. We'll try again. Those in favor of the motion to put the temporary 2-hour parking signs on the spaces that don't have them on Old Route 3, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Through July 22nd.
Yeah. I'm
Through
okay.
July 22nd. Aye.
Okay, I'm okay through that date.
Okay. Yes, motion passes. Is there anything else?
I do have one last thing.
Yes, Mr. Jessamine.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion in second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I'll add another pen if I can.
I got them all.
I lose them all day long.
Using Sharpies.